I never thought I'd say this, but I've quit Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. After years of training and hours of studying and working with some of the best coaches in the world, competing, even winning a gold medal, and recently being promoted to my blue belt, I've had to walk away. Now, if you train Jiu Jitsu, I think that you're going to relate to a lot of the things that I talk about on this video. Even though I did compete at a high level in boxing, which most people don't who train, this might just trigger a few things in your brain, and I'd love to know in the comments below if so. Now, before I get into why I quit, I think it's important for me to say that Jiu Jitsu has changed my life and my family's life for the better, even though this video might not seem like that, but it really has. Now, when I first started training, like everyone, I was like a fish out of water, flopping around, didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I very soon become addicted to the training of it. I was training 4, 5, 6, even 7 times a week. And the reason I was doing so much was because of my mindset. I was thinking, if someone is training 3 times a week and I'm training 6 times a week, I'm going to learn more twice as fast. I'm going to have twice as much experience as that guy. And not only was training so much great for me, getting in great shape, but I was also learning a skill that I loved learning and I loved trying to get better at. Now, starting Jiu-Jitsu at the age of 37, which I did a few years ago, my body was sore a lot of the time. When you train Jiu-Jitsu and you're rolling, you get in positions that you think the human body can't get in, with me legs above my head and all that. So with that being said, my body was sore a lot of the time, actually most of the time. Then after a day or two, my body would feel okay, I'd be training again. But there was always that odd session where my neck would get, choked so hard, or something would happen with my back and I would have a sore injury for like 2 weeks. And I would just get on with it. And I thought, it's all part of it. And then in October, after a session, I felt something didn't feel right on the back of my scapula and my neck. I was a little bit sore. The next day I woke up and I was in pain. And I did think, after a week, this will go. But after that week, it didn't go. In fact, it got worse, where I was getting tingling sensations in my fingers. I was getting numbing sensations down the right side of my body. And I was thinking, oh, this is a little bit more serious than I originally thought. So I went and seen a chiropractor, a physio, and speaking to people in the gym. And everyone was kind of saying something different. So I didn't really know what I was meant to do. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I just need to continue to rest. It will heal. It will get better. And then a month went by. I didn't do any training. And I was in so much pain where it got to the point I was struggling to walk for more than 5 minutes. I was struggling to do a lot of things. I couldn't turn my neck like this. I had to bring all my shoulders around. And it was at this point where I thought, this is getting a bit serious now. Then after about 6 weeks of waiting, I went and I got an MRI scan. And what the MRI scan showed was disc bulges at multiple levels of the cervical spine, nerve compression. One of the nerves was coming out of the neck. And when I was turning, my spine was crushing that nerve, and that was causing the tingling sensation to shoot down my arm. And because of this problem, this was causing muscle weakness down this side of my body. I lost all of my grip strength. And what doctors were saying was, you need to really take it easy. And I got recommended from a doctor to wear a neck brace. So that's what I was doing. I was wearing a neck brace, trying to keep my neck upright and not turning. And with my neck being upright and opening up that spine, that's going to take the pressure off the bulge in the disc and give it time to heal. So that's what I did. I was wearing the neck brace for another 4 weeks. I was even trying these compression machines where they kind of stretch your spine to try and ease the tension off the nerve, but that didn't work. So, like I said, I continued wearing this neck brace for another 4 weeks. At this time, I still couldn't do any exercise, and my life felt like it was on hold. I was miserable. And what I do for a living is teach on YouTube boxing education. I couldn't punch. I still continue to do some videos, but they were talking videos, and I had to wear my neck brace to do them. But yeah, my life was on hold. It was miserable. I felt depressed. I felt down. I was doing more and more research, speaking to so many more experts. But again, the opinions were all different. And then it was a black belt at my gym, Richard, who told me to go and see a doctor in Olympic Park in Melbourne, where I was based. So I went there seeing this doctor, and he recommended me getting an injection, which was called a nerve root block. And that's exactly what I did. The doctor used a CT scan to get the injection and the medicine into the disc bulge in my neck. They injected me with anti-inflammatory medicine and pain relief as well. And this was right near where the nerve was pinched. After this, I had to wear a cast on my arm. And I also had to be in bed for the next 3 days.
How was it?
So I've just gotten the injection right into my neck and feeling all of the tingles down my nerves and my fingers. It was a very unpleasant experience, but I'm really hoping this will solve the pain that I've been getting and the discomfort, and maybe I can sleep better. But look at the state of this, man. Look at this. What do I look like here? And the injection worked. I haven't got any more pain in my neck. I haven't got any more tingles in my arm, and I can actually live my life good. I start training boxing again. In fact, I did something really extreme in March where I attempted the Guinness World Record of throwing the most punches in 24 hours, which I did and I achieved. And rewind, 10 weeks earlier, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to live life normal again. Now you might be thinking, well, Tony, your neck's better now. Why am I not going to train jiu-jitsu again? I have done a couple of sessions since I hurt my neck with my new blue belt on, and I was just so paranoid that I'll hurt my neck. And one thing I love about jiu-jitsu the most is you can be really competitive with it, and you're not getting punched in the head. Like in boxing, if you're sparring, you're competitive, you're getting punched in the head and you're going to get brain damage. In jiu-jitsu, you can go hard, be really competitive, which I love the competitiveness of it. And now I'm just so afraid of something like this happening again. I'm so afraid of putting my life on hold again. I'm so afraid of not being able to play with my children again and pick them up like I couldn't do for so long. And I actually lost all of the strength in the right side of my body. My bicep shrank. I couldn't do any push-ups. I couldn't do any pull-ups, where before this injury, I could do 18 pull-ups. I was strong, I was fit, and I just really feel like it's been a big backward step in my life. And at the age of 40 years old right now, I don't really want to ever have to do any more backward stepping again. Now, before I tell you what training I'm going to do instead, I just want to say, I don't believe that this injury is 100% from jiu-jitsu. I've been getting punched in the head since I was 10 years old, getting my head knocked back like that, right? I've had 106 fights in my career. I now work on a computer sitting like this. I'm constantly on my phone scrolling like this. I believe that getting choked in jiu-jitsu was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Or should I say the DOS that broke Tony's neck. That was the final thing that really caused this damage. And one more thing I want to add on that as well is I blame one person for this injury, and that one person is myself, no one else. Could I have warmed up better when I was training jiu-jitsu? Absolutely. Could I have went easier when I'm training? Absolutely. Could I have had less of an ego and tapped sooner when someone was choking me? Absolutely, my friend. I could have done all of that. Would that have prevented this injury? A very good chance that I could have. Would I recommend you do jiu-jitsu? 100% I would. I think it's amazing. I love the bloody sport. And that's why I'm absolutely devastated that I'll not be doing it again. Or if I do, I'm going to have to change the way I train. Now, what am I going to do next in my training? Because I want to do something. The thing I loved about jiu-jitsu was, like I mentioned earlier, I'm learning a new skill as I'm training. When you're at the gym and you're lifting weights, it's bloody boring. You're on a treadmill, it's boring. Boxing, I've done it since I was 10. I've completed boxing. I will still do boxing training. I'm going to try and do some strength training, and I'll try and maybe do some light jiu-jitsu rolling, focusing on the technique, which I don't know if I can do that. Now, what is crazy about all of this with the neck injury and all that is my neck was completely fine after I rolled with one of the greatest jiu-jitsu people ever, Cyborg, who's a heavyweight 13 times world champion. And I told him, I bet you can't submit me. Well, if you want to watch that video and watch what happened in that, you can click here and watch this video next. If you like jiu-jitsu, you'll love this. So click here and watch this video next.